So today I want to show you how to add a second hard drive to your MacBook Pro. This is a 2012 MacBook Pro, the one that comes with a CD drive. So we're going to take out the CD drive and put the hard drive in. So the first thing to do is to remove these screws all the way around the edge, 4 at the top, 4 at the bottom and 2 at either sides. I'm going to start doing that now. So once you've done this, the lid should just pull off like that. So as you can see, here is the optical drive, which is what will be taken off. I've got a bit of dust in here. It's worth maybe trying to take that off. Here's the SSD that I've already got in there. As you can see, I've already upgraded my RAM as well for 16 gig of RAM. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is to prise off these 3 ribbon cables here, and these 2 just here as well. So personally, I'll always make sure I use something plastic like this little plectrum here. Makes it easy to get them up, but then you don't get any grease from your hands on the bottom of these, because if you get any grease it can cause problems later on. So these pull off and they just pull up and out of the way. They're easy to bend out of the way. We also want to just remove these as well. So they're a little bit more fidgety, but this one pulls out. I think we might be alright with this one, so I'll pull this one out of the way. The next thing to do is to remove this part here. So we've got 4 screws here, as you can see. So we'll get them out. They're 4 Phillips screws, so I can use the same head as I used before. So we've got one, got another just here, and another just there. So keep in mind that these are slightly different. The 2 at the edge are thinner than the one at the top, a little bit smaller. So I'll keep these nice and neatly here at the side. And what I do is I sort of make a little mark next to them, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, so that I know exactly which screws go where. So this should now lift out with any joy. Here we go. So this can be just kept to the side. Now we've got to remove this, and we've got these 2 screws, these 3 screws just up here at the top. So it takes a little bit more persuasion before it slots out of place. So we'll place this to the side. Now the next thing to unscrew is this, and we've got 2 screws on the optical drive, one up here at the top and one at the bottom. So actually I've missed out a screw just here, which is why it was causing it a bit of a problem. So if we unscrew this as well, that would explain why it wasn't coming out. You shouldn't have to use too much force on anything here. So this is my old optical drive. So there's a few things we want to remove from here, but I'll talk you through those in just a moment. So this is the new adapter. You'll need one of these adapters for any drive that you want to add into your SSD. So there's 4 screws around the edges, which allow you to hold any new SSD in place. So just make sure that, as you can see, there's one there that's poking out. So we'll just unscrew this a little bit until it's no longer showing. And we'll take our new SSD. I've got a Drevo X SSD here. We'll open this up. So it's quite self-explanatory here. The new SSD will slot into place just here, and then it should slot in nice and firmly. these enclosures are never made that well. There we go. So once that slots in, you'll be able to see from here, you'll be able to line it up and just tighten these just so it holds the new drive in place. You can see we've got the 4 screws smack bang in the middle. That shows us that this is nice and in place. So I'm tightening them all a little bit at a time, just to make sure there's no extra force on anywhere, that they all go in just right. And to be honest, they don't have to go in too far, as long as they're roughly held in place. This isn't going to move anywhere, so I'm pretty happy with that. There's no movement or anything. So now we have to take off, as you can see, it will go this way. So first we can take off this little connector here. Can pull it out. Watch you don't get your fingers on the bottom of the actual connector, and this will plug it in, push it in like so. So it goes in nice and easy. And the second thing is this little bracket here with these 2 screws. We want to take this off, and that will go on our new drive enclosure as well. But we can screw these in nice and firmly here. Once we've screwed this into place, make sure everything's nice and firm. This will then slot into place as so. So just check that all the screw slots are lined up nicely. I'll first start off with this screw just here. We will fit this one in first. Put that in. Making sure not to damage this there. Then we've got these 2 screws just here. So we'll pick them up again. Lovely. Now we've just got this one at the top. Much better. And now just tighten this one at the top. So that's nice and firmly in place. As you can see, I've not touched the sticker there. It's all in place too. Now this should slide in. As you can see, there's a little metal bracket which it has to go underneath, so it can sometimes take a little bit of fiddling around with just to get everything where it's meant to go. And make sure that the metal bracket comes above this little metal bracket just here, just to come above this part rather than below. Get this into place, and then we'll just slide this into place too. So if we've kept everything in order, we'll know which screw goes where. Don't have to be too tight, just has to sit nicely and firmly. Next we've got our 3 screws for this. So that's beautiful. Now we'll connect all of these wires up again. The first one is this, which slides into here. If it doesn't slide in, try turning it around, because it could be that it's just trying to slide it in the wrong way. So there we go. And as you can see, you shouldn't see any of the metal connectors underneath. Next, this should click into place again. Now you'll know if these have clicked into place because they sound a bit like Lego. So they make that Lego clicking noise. That's nice. So now that we have connected all the connections up, and we've checked all these connections, I've checked all the screws to make sure everything's solidly in place. The next thing you might want to do is to clean up your MacBook Pro. Now, the temptation might be just to blow on it to get the dust out, but that's a bad idea because your breath has a lot of moisture in, it could have different sediments in, and we don't want to damage any of the electronics inside the MacBook Pro. So you can use something called canned air, which is literally a can of air, or you can get one of these. This is called a hurricane blower. You can buy them from any camera shop, or you can get them on eBay or Amazon for about £1, and they're great. You just get a few puffs out and then it blows out at quite a high velocity, nice clean air. So we can clean through the different parts, clean through the fan. Lots of dust comes out of the fan when you do that. You can see the dust going away. Clean through all the vents and just clean some of the circuitry board. That's a nice safe way to clean off your MacBook Pro. So you just give that a quick clean, get everything off, wipe that clean, and do the same thing if you want to the bottom of your device, so get a lot of the dust off there if you can. The nice thing about getting rid of the dust is it keeps your MacBook Pro running a bit cooler, stops all the vents from clogging up. So now that that is done, we simply place this over the top and we put back in the 3 screws, remembering that the 3 long screws go at the top just here, on the top right hand side, and the rest are all the smaller screws. And there we go, there we have all the screws in. And a good way to make sure that you've put the screws in properly is just to double check that all of the screws should be recessed below the surface. So if any are sticking out, you might want to unscrew them and start screwing them in again, just to make sure that they're all recessed. But none of the screws should take excessive force to get them to go in. Everything should fit in nice and easily. As you see, I didn't use any force, so if anything's causing you any trouble, take the screw out, put the screw back in again, because it should go in nice and easy. So now that we're all set up, let's switch it on and set up our new SSD. So when you boot up, you'll probably get a message saying that your disk cannot be read. That's because it's not formatted. So if we go into disk utility, we'll see the current hard drive that I've got and also this new one that I've put in. So I've already formatted it, but if it's the first time you're using a drive, you just have to click on Erase, choose OSX Journaled, GUID partition map, and just name it. So I name it JP Bank. We just click Erase. So it will take a few minutes to unmount and erase the disk. Then in a moment the disk will be fully readable by Mac. So we just wait for it to do that. There we go. It's now formatting. Now it's mounting the disk, and that's done. So that's great. So I've now got my second hard disk. Got my first one. As you can see, that's quite used up. This one's totally empty. So let's fire up Blackmagic and see what speeds we're getting with this second Drevo X1 hard drive. So we just select the target drive, and if we go down to the new JP Bank, choose that, and let's start. So you can see I'm getting 370 write, 474 read